A very good evening, our viewers. Welcome to ELITETV, and you're watching Open Debate in English. I'm Chongtham Amrita, your host for this session on the topic New Governor and Power Shifts. The President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu, has replaced the governors of 9 states, including Manipur. This comes as a surprise since the term of the Manipur governor is short of 4 years. This further fuels the mystery surrounding if the state has Article 355 enforced or if there is a proper executive and administrative head. At the same time, the 9th Niti Aayog meeting has just concluded. Chief Minister N. Biren Singh had sought to have an audience with the Prime Minister before leaving for Delhi, and today there is contradictory reports surfacing about it. Some reports that the Prime Minister had met indeed with the Chief Minister of Manipur along with Rajnath Singh and also the Home Minister. But we want to know why there is such a mystery surrounding this, if he in fact had met with the Prime Minister, or is there still some mystery regarding that? To discuss and debate on this matter, let's take a moment to introduce and also welcome our panelists for tonight. Our first panelist for tonight is Oja N. Satyajeet, Bureau Chief, UNI. Oja, welcome to Open Debate. Our second panelist for tonight is Dr. Arambam Noni, Associate Professor, Department of Political Science, DMU. Oja, welcome to Open Debate. And our third panelist for tonight is renowned socio-political commentator, Oja B. Sonamani. Oja, welcome to Open Debate.
Thank you so much.
I'll first start the floor this discussion with Oja Satyajeet. First of all, I'd like to know from you is that the Manipur governor, Srimati Anusuya Uike, was replaced by the president yesterday ahead of the end of her term. During her 17-month tenure, she was active and very vocal in addressing the state's humanitarian crisis. She was very people-friendly, very people-focused, and she also visited numerous relief camps and even met with the president and the home minister regarding the flood relief that happened twice in Manipur, that so many have been affected, and also regarding the conflict resolution of the state. And she had also recently resolved the issue of the Dhanamajur University crisis after meeting with the agitating students. So my question is, why do you think she was so abruptly replaced? Oja Satyajeet.
At the very outset, I would say that the governor, any governor of India, he or she should remain in office for about 5 years. I mean, the term is about 5 years, but it depends upon the decision of the center. The center can remove him or her before the expiry of the 5 years, and there should be in office. It is dictated by the central government, and governor, their role is also quite restricted. It is a constitutional post. They don't have much jurisdiction. They don't have much power, executive power, and I think only during president's rule they can exercise full power, full executive power. So I think it is a constitutional post. The de facto power lies with the chief minister. So I think, but the problem here is, if she was replaced during a normal time, then we would have thought that it was a normal process. But the problem is, Manipur is going through a crisis now, and any changes, executive changes, it is seen from various aspects, and it can be analyzed from various aspects also. And one thing which we have noticed is, after she arrived, immediately the Manipur crisis started on May 3rd, 2024. After that, we also are not sure if Article 355 is enforced in Manipur or not. We are not sure about it because we are having conflicting information about it. It is quite ambiguous. So we are not certain about the situation in Manipur. So in such a scenario, the governor was not supposed to do anything from her own, on her own. Okay. But we have seen that she had been very active. She visited lots of these relief centers in Manipur, and she had been active with the Red Cross people, distributing aid on everything. Those are acceptable things. But the people of Manipur at large, and the media also, we saw that she had been active in administrative exercises also, because regarding the crisis in DMU and all, she summoned the officers and she ordered the inquiry, and so we saw an activism, and we also thought that she was acting with the assurance, unwritten assurance from the center that she can act something, she can do something. And after the crisis also, she was made in charge of the peace committees also. So we thought she had been given some unconditional powers by the center, unwritten, unconstitutional, to do something in Manipur, to resolve the crisis. And so we were in a confusion. And in this, when we were going through this aspect, she has been replaced. But we have to see to it that the governor, the terms is 5 years. He or she, the term can be extended by the center. It is it entirely lies at the hand of the center. They can do whatever they want. They are at the will. They are at the will of the center. They can do whatever they want. So we can, and the other issue is the present governor is replaced. She has been moved. But the problem is the one who has been appointed in charge of Manipur is not a full-time governor. He will be having additional charge of Manipur. So we think that a full-time governor may be appointed, and there may be a possibility also that her term may be extended by another 5 years. The possibility is also there. But we cannot say anything. The decision is taken by the center. It is different from the constitutional post like chief minister, cabinet minister, because they have to be an MLA. Governor, then these are all appointed by the center. They can choose anybody. They can replace anybody at the pleasure of the center, and they can be transferred from one state to a state. But the only issue is a particular person from a particular state is normally not appointed as the governor. For example, a person from Manipur may not be appointed as a governor of Manipur. But from a personal experience, I can say that Anushya Uke was a very active person. She visited all the centers, and she was also very active when she was working in Chhattisgarh, and prior to that as an MLA also. And she was quite considerate also, and she was extremely concerned about the problems faced by the people. So I think she was a very considerate person. And the other aspect which people of Manipur are saying is that there may be some changes. The center wants to do some changes. One is administrative changes, that is the governor, and the next is during the foundation day of CRPF, the Union Home Secretary Bala said that the CRPF, they will have an additional, they will have
bigger role in
additional powers, additional responsibility, not powers, responsibilities, expansion of responsibility. So it can be analyzed and it can be discussed from various perspectives also. So we feel that the center is going to do something to resolve the Manipur crisis, and we should welcome any positive steps. We have to welcome any positive steps taken by the center. And we also heard that after a long hiatus, the Prime Minister of India had a one-to-one interaction with the Manipur Chief Minister, even though the Union Home Minister and the Defense Minister were present in the meeting. We do not know what exactly transpired during the meeting, but we hope that it is for the betterment of Manipur, for the people of Manipur, and peace will prevail in Manipur, and we can go back to the situation where we're living peacefully together. And one aspect which I would add to this is that the governor, the chief minister, or whosoever, they should be wielding powers as per the book, as per the constitution. Right. We can expect judicial activism, we can expect any sort of activism, but activism which is not given by the constitution is also not good, and it is not acceptable, and it causes conflict also. It will cause conflict between the office of governor and the council of states, and the governor is expected to execute works on the advice of the council of ministers. So I think that whoever comes here, they should work as per the book, as per the constitution, and they should not try to interfere in the politics of the governor. And in this aspect also, you must have seen that in Tamil Nadu also, the governor, he walked out during the address. Then in Manipur also, we have seen that earlier between the governor, there was a conflict with Rishankar Singh also. And at that particular time also, the center always pay emphasis on the chief minister, because the chief minister is elected by the people, elected by it's an elected body. They have some powers, they have some responsibility also. So the weightage is given to the chief minister. So whoever comes, and whatever reason she has been removed, we hope that the new governor should will power as per the book, as per the constitution.
Thank you for your points, Soja. I'll come back to you again in the next round. You have raised indeed a very important, many things to discuss upon today's topic. Now I'll move on to Oja Noni, and I'll like to carry on with what Oja Satyajeet also has said, and also I'd like to put forth the question to you is that the President has given additional charge to the newly appointed Governor of Assam. He was also previously served as a Governor of Sikkim as well, to Sri Lakshman Prasad Acharya. So he served as a Legislative Council of Uttar Pradesh and also served with the BJP for a long time, and now he has been given additional charge of Manipur. But my point is, given the delicate political climate of Manipur currently, with the issue, this crisis not being resolved, and also the question of Article 355 still looming in the state, and also regarding the status of the Chief Minister and also his powers being given over to the Unified Command head of to Sri Kuldeep. So there is a certain power vacuum or a leadership vacuum or a governance vacuum, so to speak, in the state, when the state indeed needs a full force of all the governance machineries to solve this crisis and bring the state to normalcy. So in that case, my question to you is, when there is such a power vacuum, is it correct for the governor to be replaced at such a short notice? And also, do you think that without an executive head in the state, there would be more such governance vacuum emerging? What are your thoughts?
Thank you, Amrita. First of all, I probably do not think that this is a replacement of the governor. It looks like the governor has completed her term, because she was appointed as the governor of Chhattisgarh in 2019 July 16. So if you look at the timeline, the governor's term is normally for 5 years.
Yeah, but she was appointed as Manipur's governor last year on the.
That's fine, but right. What I'm saying is that the governor's term is for 5 years only.
Okay.
Her term has not been extended. That's the issue, I guess. So I think it is up to the prerogative of the president of the country, because president is the one who appoints the governors, and therefore I think it will be slightly an exaggeration to talk too much about the governors, appointment of new governors. I wouldn't use replacement, because since her term has been completed, it will be not really correct, I guess, to say words like, to use words like replacement. So the new governor, the problem, I guess, what you are raising is not having a full-time governor, of course, is a concern.
Right.
That is one aspect of the issue that we need to think about. And we are slightly surprised, because why the center, did not think it fit to have a full-time governor for the state of Manipur, because given the kind of problems that we have been encountering for the last 15 months or so. So that aspect is lacking. As far as Article 355 is concerned, as my predecessor speaker had pointed out, that there was an activism which was seen in the governor's office for the last many months, and we were wondering, what kind of activism was it, and was it exercised under certain provision of the constitution? That was never clear before us, because the center government did not make any clear statement on whether there was 355 in the state of Manipur. Moreover, we also saw the governor, the then governor of the state, actively engaging the central government officials, the ministries, I mean. So there also we felt that she was becoming very active in terms of the political affairs of the state. Otherwise, normally, if you look at the tradition of the governor's role, governor, of course, is the head of the state, but normally she acts on the advice of the Council of Ministers. And particularly in a state where there is no sixth schedule, governors have very limited role in those states. Okay. So on the whole, I think it will be difficult to say whether 355 is there or not, but if you look at the constitutional process, and if you look at the nature of the engagement, there is no clarity on the fact that there is 355 in the state. But if you look at the recent developments, if you're talking about NITI Aayog, for instance, the NITI Aayog meeting in which our CM was also there and the country's Prime Minister was also there, you can see that every Chief Minister was given at least 7 minutes to speak. There are allegations of some politicians not being allowed to speak for enough time.
Right.
There are issues like that. But NITI Aayog is basically important because it is an executive body. It is not a statutory body. It is not a constitutional body. It is just a mere executive body, and it has a very huge advisory and planning role because it was formerly known as Planning Commission. So if you're talking about the changing dynamics or shifting political affairs in the state of Manipur, the changing of the governor should not be a big deal, I guess.
Okay.
What is important for us and what should we speak about is more about not having a full-time governor. That is, I think, what we can talk about. On the other side, if we talk about the recent development in the state of Manipur, I think we cannot talk about Manipur, minus NITI Aayog development, because during the NITI Aayog meeting, the first day, the second half after the first day meeting, there was a conclave at the BJP office in Delhi, and reportedly the CM was also there of the state of Manipur, and it is reported that he had a chance to interact with the Prime Minister, but you never know what was discussed because it is not coming out in the papers, and nor has the government of the state has made any statement officially on this. But I think as of now, there is an interview going on with the Chief Minister of Manipur by some news agency. Probably what had transpired in this meeting probably will be coming out in this particular interview, I guess. Maybe after this particular show, we will be able to have a look at what has actually transpired in Delhi with the Chief Minister of Manipur and the PM of the country. So I have a feeling that this coming of the new governor politically, he has very limited role because governors normally are not supposed to interfere with the political affairs of the state unless there is a presidential rule in the state under Article 356. So since we don't have 356, nor we have 355, I think the role of the governor, of course, will be very limited. However, the governor has certain, power in terms of getting into the humanitarian aspect of the issues which are not political. He or she is going to be the chancellor of the universities run by the state. So if you were talking, or if you're talking about DM University and the role and intervention of the governor, the outgoing governor, I also think that her intervention on DMU case was basically because of being the chancellor of the university. She had certain prerogatives to talk about and engage with the dissenting students in the university campus. So that was a very normal procedure, I guess, as far as universities are concerned, because constitutionally governors have a say, in fact, in the state universities or even the universities which are central universities. So the case of DM University and the role of governor is not extraordinary, I guess. Mm. That's one aspect of understanding what had transpired as far as DMU was concerned. So I would like to conclude by saying that whatever we are speaking on the meeting between the PM and the state CM are all speculative in some sense because we don't know actually what had transpired. Mm-hmm. It will be too early to say, and it will be an exaggeration, of course, if we keep on speculating too much. So given the kind of political ambience, I mean, in the parliament of the country, Manipur has become very popular for all the negative reasons. The opposition parties are asking for the Prime Minister to meet, particularly the Chief Minister of the state, and speak more vocally on Manipur issue. Probably because of these political pressure and ambience, I expect that the CM must have met the PM, and I think probably must have got 2 chances at least, or 3 chances. Mm-hmm. One was he must have got some moments to speak during the NITI Aayog, because according to protocols of the NITI Aayog gathering, every CM is supposed to speak and with 7 minutes time allocation. If you look at the rules of NITI Aayog meeting, that's one occasion where our CM could have spoken, yet we are supposed to still receive any kind of information on that. Secondly, in the Chief Minister's Conclave, BJP Chief Minister's Conclave, which was held in the BJP office headquarters in Delhi, chaired by the president of the party, there also I think the Chief Minister of the state should have got some opportunity to speak out, air the issues in the state. Thirdly, there are reports that the Chief Minister had one-to-one interaction with the PM of the country, and there I think the CM must have also raised a couple of important issues concerning the state. So this is how I think things are unfolding, and it will be too early to say too conclusively. Thank you.
Very interesting point, Oja. Thank you very much for your points, and I'll come back to you again in the next round. And you did raise a lot of things that we can talk about today in the discussion, and I'll get back to it again in the next round. So now, moving on with this episode, now I'll go to Babu Sonamani, and I'd like to ask you that the fact had said that the governor's role is kind of limited, even in because he or she is just a nominal head appointed by the president, and the real head of the state is indeed the chief minister and the council and all the elected members, in fact. But regarding the situation that we have been seeing in Manipur, that we have seen Srimati Anushya Ike taking a very active role regarding the humanitarian aspects of this crisis and also the flood relief situation and all of that. So do you think that the new governor that is appointed will also make such kind of active involvement in the situation of Manipur, and do you think that that will also bring some kind of power shifts in the state? What are your thoughts, Paul?
Amrita, it's very unfortunate. Of course, the transfer, posting or appointment of the governor, this is the discretionary of the governor of India and the president. At this juncture, our Rajyapal Mahoday, her transfer, government of India must have meticulously calculated who will be the fittest and who will be the right persons to be the governor and who will be able to execute. Because 355 article itself, when it is directly or indirectly or covertly or overtly being imposed or to Manipur, so it is evident that head of the government, chief minister, he is not in a position to quell the situation. That is the reason that government of India security advisor, he has already been posted, and of course it was not ever it was published, nor it is let known to the people reason for his posting. But definitely a security advisor, he is the envoy or he is the ambassador of the government of India, who is to assist the governor and to the state. Because when the chief minister or head of the government, when he is not in a position to tackle the situation and quell the situation, obviously central government cannot sit, they cannot remain silent. As such, this 355 article must have been imposed. That's what I personally feel. So security advisor, he played a major role. Now the transfer of posting of the governor. This is the discretionary of the government of India. So president is under the advice of the government, she or he has to function it. Government of India must have meticulously planned and meticulously worked out the quantum of the peoples. More than 250-60 people are being butchered and killed, and more than 60,000 people are homeless, and there are properties and everything was being destroyed, their house is being burned down, their life is in a shambles and it is in very miserable conditions. They're not knowing exactly what they are supposed to do when they lost their near and dear and they lost everything in their lives. So state government, according to us, and also according to observation, what I personally feel, government of India must have thought that state government is not in a position to restore peace, also to quell the situations, also to command and control the state. As such, that the security advisor posted now. Now governors withdrawing and posting, this is the discretionary of the government of India. Normally, when the state governor is being posted, a top ranking like the Director Intelligence Bureau, or the top ranks of the Indian Administrative Service, or a top ranking of the Army's officers, when they are posted, situation it differs, how they control, how they manage it, how they have the better relations with the government of India. This differs from man to man. When a politician is being appointed, that there are so many places, Khao, Pio, Ace Karo, Aram Karo. In fact, the governor, when the chief minister, head of the government, not head of the state, head of the government, shame. When he or she functions, governor has hardly anything to do. Governor is really, it is just like the Khao, Pio, Ace Karo, then enjoy it and meet the people, create your own image, go to fill and enjoy it, and people see so many things. She has hardly anything to do. On behalf of the governor, on behalf of the state, CM is functioning. When the CM seizes power, or when CM has no any command and control himself to control and command of the state, then the governor interferes. So now, might be, we do not know, we have no rights to discuss about the Governor Mahadaya, about their transfer, about their posting. This is the choice of the government of India. They must have speculated, they must have found out and discussed ins and out through the so many the agencies and others, whatever might be the reason. We want that Manipur should be restored. Let the President, Rajyapal Mahadaya, she remains, no problem. We are more happy she should remain in, but she should be more active when the CM is not in a position to control and command due to the several various factors. So now another governor, as per the newspaper, that another governor is being appointed. Whosoever comes and whosoever takes over, it is not that she or he is the governor, that he be given an important task at this juncture. Because of the certain conditions that Manipur Chief Minister is not in a position to do, because his will to do is also being, apparently it is being blocked by the government of India. Because of the government of India's, apparently their modus operandi seems to be a little different. Had the government of India, after knowing that Mr. Biren Singh, Chief Minister of Manipur, he is not in a position to command and control, there were two options, government of India. Either you relieve him from the Chief Minister post, or you augment the service of the government of India who can deal helping the government of Manipur. Let your Mr. Biren Singh remain in his chair. This matter should have been solved. This matter should have been already rather tackled in a very, very wide-footing manner, which the government of India, according to me, not done it. That's the reason it is fall like a volcano now. Now it has become very difficult. We cannot blame the governor too, and we cannot blame the chief minister too, because of the certain conditions. So politics is a very difficult, and the political affinities, the leaders, when they are appointed as a governor, they have some problem. When the bureaucrats or when the armies or the armed forces, top ranking officers, generals and other who knows the ins and out, who are from the defense and who are from the bureaucratic setup and from the police and hierarchy and other, they know the ins and out of that state because they study. Say in the Chennai, Mr. Ravi Kumar, Chennai, in the DMK, they don't want him by any means. In the Nagaland too, he was taking a very pivotal role about the NSNIM. There were a lot of differences, but differences has to be. One can demand which is not possible to fulfill on the part of the government of India. And one said that no, your limitation of asking is, this is the limit. So naturally, so they confront each other. So when the bureaucrats or the one top ranking police officer, particularly the DIB, Director Intelligence Bureau, when they are being posted, like the Ajit Dhaval, like the Ravi Kumar, like the Mr. Samal Datta, who knows who keeps the India under their command and control, because they are very big people. So this is the government policy. We do not know what is the internal discussion, and they must have been thinking that no, a new change, a new one governor perhaps might do better, but it is too late. After the death, don't invite doctor. Now the situation is, after the death, government of India is inviting doctor. We do not know who will come, who might come. It is only speculations in the newspaper. Sikkim's governor, designate governor, he will look after the Manipur too. How far it is possible, we do not know. We won. We request the government, not we won. I'm sorry for correction of my language. We appeal to the government of India, a capable persons, let it be from any section, from any community, or from either from the armed forces, or from the police, or from the bureaucrat setup, or a politician, a top governor who can handle the situation, who can help the Chief Minister of Manipur. If you at all interested to retain the Mr. Biren Singh as a Chief Minister, then you will have to depute a governor, a person for the post of governor, like Mr. L.P. Singh, way back 72, 3, 4. He was looking after the 5 states of the governor, 5 states as a governor. Lalan Prasad Singh, how he tackled the situation. 5 states governor, a top guy who was a home secretary, whose name itself, Lalan Prasad Singh itself, is good enough for the government of India. Because such kind of an officer we need now. If any kinds of people out of 35 communities creates the harm or causes innumerable number of the issues and the what I will call it, the flaming, the putting fire in the burning, the fuel in the burning fire. Who old people, let it be Meitei, let it be Chin, Kuki, Joe, let it be Naga, or let it be anybody. Take action appropriate. We do not want the Chief Minister or the head of the state remain silent. After the death, please don't go and give, what I'll call it, and accompany you, doctor, your nurses. No, look after it before such kind of unpleasant or unwarranted situation. You knew it, Governor Manipur, you knew it, Central, you knew it. You did not try to quell this situation. That's the reason. Simply by our Governor Mahada or transferring or somebody bringing, how far this will give the fruitful result, we do not know. Because the damage has been already caused. This is irreparable damage, which will be very difficult in the long run to come together. Yet we look forward, we yearn for peace. Now the government of India, you come in the field, you try to douse this fire. And your transfer posting governor, this is your discretionary. We have nothing to do. If you feel Biren Singh he is not fit, you remove him and put it your own choice who can handle the situation. So also the governor, it is up to you, but enough is enough. Enough blood is already set. Government of India, you are solely responsible. That's what we feel it. Thanks, Amrita.
This will change our appointments, bring about some kind of normalcy or maybe some policy changes in the state that bring about peace in the state. So that's what Pabung has been saying very strongly. So now moving on with this, I'd like to come back to Satyajeet once again. So I'd like to bring up the case regarding the Chief Minister, whether he met with the Prime Minister. So there has been a lot of speculation surrounding this. Even today there have been so many newspaper articles that have been reported in a very contradictory manner itself. And again, even the Congress leader, Sri Jairam Ramesh, he also even questioned the veracity of this or authenticity of the Chief Minister's meeting with the Prime Minister. And he said, where are the photographs? So that's what he was trying to say, that there is no photographs. So maybe he did not have a chance to meet with the Prime Minister. But still, it is all just speculation. But without going into that, what I'd like to know from you is that why is there so much politics and even so many disinformation regarding this matter? What do you think?
Amrita, when we were kids, we remember that we used to demand lots of things from our parents. Our parents used to say that they will give us whatever we want the next day, that is tomorrow. It keep on postponing. It never happened. Such were the days we faced. And in this critical hour, we are going through a phase where our Chief Minister, the elected Chief Minister of Manipur, the executive head of the state, is not able to meet the Prime Minister during this crisis. This has been debated in the Parliament, outside Parliament, and this is one issue which people of Manipur will keep asking for generations to come. And in this scenario, the Chief Minister had a chance to meet the Prime Minister during the meeting of the Niti Aayog. The Planning Commission is now, we don't have the Planning Commission now. It has been replaced by the Niti Aayog. It is also debated, and one issue which is quite which people are asking is because our Chief Minister and the Prime Minister, they are quite electronic savvy. They keep on posting in all the social network platforms, because yesterday when we were waiting for the photographs of our Chief Minister meeting with the Prime Minister, the Prime Minister posted in X that he was called on by the Chief Minister of Arunachal Pradesh. They had a long discussion about the issues of Manipur, and there was no Arunachal, and there was no mention about Manipur. So, and today also I just check out the various social network platforms of the Prime Minister, and there was no mention about Manipur. That is another issue. I mean, whether they post or they don't post, it is another issue. But other information which we are getting is that after a long time, the Chief Minister was able to meet the Prime Minister, and he discussed the issue for a very long time. And the other issue is we are not in a position to know what happened during that meeting. That meeting is very important from two aspects. Because when we discuss about Niti Aayog, and we have been observing this since a very long time, that whenever there is a meeting of the Planning Commission or Niti Aayog, the government of Manipur always submits a memorandum to the center. Not memorandum, also a representation, where the Manipur government gives to the center what it wants.
Right.
The planning for the next year, next 5 years, the planning, the money which Manipur requires, all those issues. And this year we did not receive the document which Manipur government submitted to the center. And if we can get it, then we will be in a position to say what Manipur wanted from the center. That is the administrative issue. The other is the core issue, that is the problem which we are facing, that is the crisis since May 3rd, when we were attacked by another ethnic group with whom we had been living for a very long time now, and people suspect that they have been helped by people from another country, which is
right.
quite unfortunate. They are very well armed, they're financed by the drug lords, and they are very powerful also, because when you have arms you can do anything, when you have money you can do anything. That is what we people of Manipur are fearing. And in that particular meeting, I feel that our Chief Minister had been very vocal about this poppy and the war on drugs and infiltration, and on those issues our Chief Minister had been very vocal. And
but just to interrupt there, I just found that today in the newspaper, in the Imphal Free Press, there has been an article saying that the Chief Minister indeed had presented a development project to this Niti Aayog meeting. It was the development project that he said that it is one of the utmost thing that is needed for the state of Manipur. It was development project that he stuck upon, and he did not discuss regarding poppy. He did not discuss regarding any of the crisis that is being faced here. So that was one article that was presented in the Imphal Free Press.
Yes, we are discussing two issues. One is the administrative one. In the annual submission which the government of Manipur must have submitted, it only reflects about the departments, PWD, the roads which we want to execute, then police modernization. We are facing lots of crises. Those are the issues which the government deals. And when it comes to home also, the Manipur government could have given in some recommendations that we want extra assistance to strengthen our fencing, our borders, stop infiltration, then NRC, whatever it could be. But since I said that, since we haven't gone through that document we used to get earlier, since I haven't assessed it, I haven't gone through it, so I'm not in a position to say what exactly the government said. But the other issue is, during the one-to-one meeting, they could have a very honest discussion. Off the record meetings, whether it was a secret meeting or it was an unofficial meeting, whatever, a meeting is a meeting. And the meeting is between two most important persons. One is the Chief Minister of Manipur, the other is the Prime Minister of Manipur, witnessed by two other important, one is the Defense Minister and the Home Minister. They are all very important ministers. So I think during the meetings, I think the Chief Minister of Manipur must have presented some facts, the exact scenario which we are going through, if the meeting happened, and we have to assume that a meeting happened, because we have to accept the reports and I think the reports will not lie also, they will not give wrong information also. And I think that when the Chief Minister comes out also, he may also brief the media and the people about the issue, about what exactly transpired. But what we are looking forward is to seeing what the people of Manipur want. We want a decisive action from the center. And why do we want a meeting between the Chief Minister and the Prime Minister? Is because we want an intervention from the topmost office of the Government of India to deal with the Manipur situation. To deal with the Manipur situation in the scenario is not only about the security aspect. We want to deal with it in the human, by embracing all aspects: education, the financial sector, the business sector, then rehabilitation of the displaced person. Those are very important issues, I think. And the Prime Minister, if he gives clear-cut instructions, I am saying the word clear-cut because we are living in a world of ambiguity in Manipur. We don't know what exactly is going on, and it's very confusing also, and very disappointing for us also. And we want the Prime Minister to give clear-cut instruction to the Chief Minister and to other ministry to execute works in a proper manner by dealing the situation in a very proper way, and by treating the people of Manipur as citizens of Manipur, and who also deserve to live a dignified life. We are also citizens of the country. We are protected by the Constitution. We have the right to life, Article 21. We are protected by the Constitution, whatever, but we are not getting anything. And so I hope that only positive aspects come out from the meeting if it really happened, and I hope only good things now are executed by the center and the state government. Thank you.
Very interesting point, Azhar. I will come back to you again if time permits, and it was really indeed very good points that you mentioned. Now, Sonamani, you mentioned regarding the structure and also the functions of the Niti Aayog, and we've been discussing about the Chief Minister's recent meeting, the 3-day meeting at Niti Aayog that was just concluded today. So I'd like to bring forward this thing that Niti Aayog was built on the principles of cooperative federalism, and the Planning Commission was dissolved in order for the Niti Aayog to be built, and it was also said that it is a bottom-up approach in policy making, and also taking part of all the chief ministers and then raising their voices, as we have known how it has been functioned. This is the 9th session of the Niti Aayog, and the Chief Minister also went to participate in that. And even though it was built on cooperative federalism, my question is the spirit still intact? Because we have known that 10 chief ministers did not participate, and one of the chief minister, the West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, she walked out of the meeting saying that her mic was muted. And also there is one statement that has been given out by the CEO of Niti Aayog, BVR Subramaniam. He said that those who are absent in the meeting, it is their loss that they have not been able to participate. So instead of making the decision to make the chief ministers participate in it, it was as if like those who cannot participate, they will be regretting it instead of inviting them. So there is this approach, and on top of that, there have been a separate conclave that has been constituted of only of a meeting of only the chief ministers of the BJP ruled state, and it has excluded some of the other chief ministers that was there. So do you think that the idea of cooperative federalism that it is very proud on, that has been built upon it, is still intact with Niti Aayog? What do you think about that?
Thank you, Amrita. It's a very important question. I'm a student of political science, and we have been studying this, whether India is a federal state or not. And we have been feeling, and experts have argued, that India is not a real federal state, but a quasi-federal state, semi-federal state. And the term federalism is hardly seen in the Constitution, but it was there in the philosophy of the writers of the Constitution. It was there. However, as far as Niti Aayog is concerned, of course, the notion, the idea of cooperative federalism runs at the heart of Niti Aayog. If you look at the statements given by TMC leader Mamata Banerjee, she was saying that she had come to Niti Aayog meeting thinking that there will be a sense of cooperative federalism, and she was saying that she do not feel that. Now, you can also see that this time Niti Aayog was actually divided on political ideologies, the ruling and the opposition, and most of the opposition leaders didn't come except Mamata Banerjee, and she also worked out reportedly. So cooperative federalism, when we say cooperative federalism, states are to have a very big role in the policy making. Instead of having a contest between the center and the state, it is expected that there will be a very good environment of cooperation between the center and the state. Now, when we say cooperative federalism, we are talking about a federalism which has to give a larger sense of authority to the center, but not denying the presence of the state.
Very beautiful.
For instance, if you talk about US, in the US you have a system called competitive federalism. In India you have this cooperative federalism. So in some sense, the center will of course will have a better say and more say. However, it doesn't mean the states will have no say. Having said this, I was expecting, and I expect, that the states like Manipur will have its own mechanism to use this provision of the process by being more vocal and by raising the core issues in the state of Manipur. And this time, as I was saying in the previous slot, that the Chief Minister of Manipur should have spoken about this. And as you rightly mentioned, that the state government must have submitted a representation to the Niti Aayog chair, which is chaired by the PM of the country. So there are a lot of sense in this, because Niti Aayog is considered to be an advisory body for development. And it has a developmental aspect. It also has a think tank aspect. So the chief ministers, along with the other ministers, actually work as a think tank in the Niti Aayog to actually plan for the country for the coming years. Actually, we don't have today this very classic model of 5-yearly planning. It has been more or less replaced by a different kind of a design of planning, probably 2-yearly planning type. So on the whole, as you rightly pointed out, a sense of cooperative federalism must prevail because the center and the state relationship should be democratized, and for that states will have to be playing a very assertive and proactive role. If the states are not going to assert their power and their rights, probably this very idea of cooperative federalism will not work, because whenever there is a government with larger majority, it is the tendency of those governments to prevail over the states and also to play havoc on the center-state relationship. It was seen in the 1970s when Congress had a very huge majority. For instance, the experience of 1975 was actually a manifestation of that majoritarian government in the union. Similarly, if you look at today also the lawmaking that we have seen in the country, there are certain sense of element of majoritarian politics, of course. Okay. But given that situation, I think today is an age of coalition politics. In this age of coalition politics, the states must play its own role. Moreover, states also have its own constitutional legitimacy to claim for autonomy. For instance, in terms of maintaining law and order, states, of course, has a better say over these subjects, because it is a prerogative of the state to act on these subjects. So a state like Manipur should now reorganize itself to reclaim its power on law and order situation, so that the integrity and unity of the state can be kept intact. I would conclude by saying that Niti Aayog, of course, is a very important space where the CMs can articulate their political agenda, their developmental agenda, and produce a better narrative of federalism in the country. And even if required, you should give a good critique of the budget. Even if required, you must give a critique of the majority politics, if there is any in the country. So Niti Aayog, of course, is a very good platform. Of course, the meeting of the CMs, what you call CMs conclave at the level of BJP officials, that is also a nice opportunity for Manipur, because you have a government of the same party. So on the whole, I think we have had opportunities, and I expect the government of Manipur must have taken these opportunities in a right perspective. Thank you.
Well, also, I'll just have one supplementary question that I'd like to know from you, that since law and order is a state subject, and in Manipur, in the context of Manipur, the head of the Unified Command is now being given to Sri Kuldip Singh, who is supposed to be the Chief Minister is supposed to be the head of the Unified Command, all the command of the state police force or the paramilitary and all the militaries. So in that case, in this context, do you think that the the federal structure, the spirit of federalism is being exercised in Manipur in that state, in that context?
So could you kindly repeat me?
I'll come back to you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's for
okay,
Janoni
thank
first.
you. That's a very, very relevant question. That's a very relevant question.
I'll come back to you shortly with that.
Whenever you're talking about center-state relationship,
Right.
it is very unbecoming on the part of the central government to have no regard for the government in the states which is duly elected by the people of a particular state. So states integrity, states popular government must be respected and must have a larger say on the subject that we have discussed, that is law and order situation. So in Manipur for the last 15 months or so, we have had a situation, of course, of these kind, and you rightly talked about these, the unclarity between, the lack of clarity between the role of the state and the center. Sometimes it looks like the center has got overriding power over the state. And it has also happened many a times. It is not an exception for a state like Manipur. There are times when the governor had played a very important role in actually overriding the state's power. There are legal cases on this. There are commissions on this. And moreover, small states in India have had difficult times as far as center-state relationship is concerned. Even if you talk about NITI Aayog meeting at this time, you can see big states like Bihar, they did not come because probably they had reasons to say, but they did not come. And there are many other big states which did not bother to come and to participate in this NITI Aayog gathering. So what I have sensed is that smaller states, of course, will have a tougher time in a system of electioneering where you have first past the post system, in a system where you have states having 80 MP seats and where you have states with only 1 MP or 2 MP seats. So there is an asymmetry of power relationship as well. So it will never be easy for small states to sustain as far as cooperative federalism is concerned.
Yeah, the balance will always be off in that sense. Yeah. Thank you for that, Oja. And now moving on to Pabung, I'd like to know from you that there is one article that just surfaced. It was featured in The Wire. It has suggested that the Chief Minister and Biren Singh was informed that with the removal of the governor, his own position might also be challenged. So I'll read that article that was featured. It says that speculation is rife within a considerable section of the Manipur BJP and the local media since last evening that the Prime Minister, along with the Home Minister Amit Shah, has conveyed to Chief Minister N. Biren that he might have to go along with Governor Anusuya Uike. So this was given out. It was said that this was one of the concluding points that was discussed in this closed door meetings, if at all it happened. So on that note, what are your thoughts on this particular article? And this is also regarding the meeting that was supposedly held with the Prime Minister, with the audience of Home Minister and Defense Minister. Oja, Pabung, please share your thoughts with this.
Yes, everything depends on the Prime Minister now. Whatever that our leaders go and our leader goes, if at all the government of India, led by the Prime Minister, head of the government, doesn't want to see or anything, or if he is willing to do and solve these issues, etc., it depends everything on them. So we want to be very frank within the very limited time. I must say that our Chief Minister, our head of the government, he will have to be vocal. He cannot be a puppet. As in when our Chief Minister or our head of the government, when he becomes weak, and he is weak, Government of India will play a role whatever she wants. So same thing. So when our head of the government is weak, then the Governor Rajapal, he or she will take upper hand and the Government of India will rule it. Now this is the situations in Manipur, to be very frank. So we want a Chief Minister who represents our state. I am not undermining the Chief Minister. And Government of India too should not try to override what our professor said right now, Noni. This is a very, very pitiable condition at this juncture. Lot of things says because the governor changing, etc., we are not concerned it. Our principle, our demands, and what we wanted the government of India should do it, we should be very firm and we should be stick to it, and we should persistently, we should ask the government of India, this is my right, this is your right. What is the drawback on the part of the government of Manipur? We do not know, but we are not vocal. Either in the NITI or in the National Planning Commission, which they were knowing it, or in our notice councils, our meeting. In few years occasion, I got an opportunity to be a spectator. So when I was associating with the big people, our leaders are not vocal, and our leaders are not apparently in a position to explain in a very plausible way. That is, we are lacking absolutely. It seems that our government is too weak. Government of India, whatever she wants, she is doing it. Now enough is enough. Now, in a very simple and nutshell, through your this ELITETV, we appeal to the government of India. Enough blood is set already. Please restore the peace and give and restore power to the chief minister. Let your governor new come, old remain. It is all the same for us. You interfere, government of India, and restore peace. This is what we appeal to the government of India. Thanks.
Very strongly put, Ojab. Thank you for your points. Now, moving on with this debate, I'd like to, since this is the last segment, I'll just put one question to the floor, and it will be open for all. And this is regarding the upcoming assembly session, the budget session that will be held in 2 days on July 31st. So I'll start with Oja Satyajeet, and then I will let my other panelists also supplement to his points, and then we will be coming to the end of the program. So the thing is that the 6th Manipur Assembly will be convening in 2 days on the 31st of July. And also this will be the 3rd time that the 10 Kukizo MLAs will be absent again. So regarding that, there has been a report that the speaker has said that he has sent the invite to the 10 MLAs, and there's till today there has been no confirmation from their side. And since that this is a budget session, since budget being there will be a lot of budgetary allocations for the department, especially the departments that are concerned with the 2 ministers of the Kukizo MLAs. So in that case, do you think that since the budgetary allocation will be done without them being present, do you think this will impact the departments concerned that they have authority on, or do you think at this point, since they have been absent for the 3rd time, with this it will be the 3rd time, that they indeed need to be disqualified or even removed as ministers regarding the 2 ministers that are still in power? What do you think about that?
Can you repeat me the last one?
Oja, I'll come back to you. And now moving on with Oja Satyajeet first, and then I'll come back to you again.
Amrita, I would say that the primary responsibility, duty of the member of Legislative Assembly is to attend and address, raise questions, participate in the debate in the Legislative Assembly. It is the same with the member of Parliament. They are supposed to attend the Parliament, Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. It is their primary duty. They have been sent by the people, and if they do not do their work, then it has violated the constitution. And the issue in Manipur is extraordinary. And if the members are not able to attend, they have said for various reasons, whether it's for health or for security or reason, if they give leave, and if which is presented in the assembly, and if it is passed by the House, then they can abstain from the assembly. And this has been going on for some time now. Now the Chief Minister said that he will personally invite the 10 MLAs, including 2 ministers. We hope that they turn up and they join the session. In this aspect, one issue arises: will there be crisis in Manipur, especially in the valley areas? Will the people in the valley area protest? I think the people in the valley area, they will act responsibly, and I think they will not stop the MLAs from attending the House also. If they stop, then it will give a wrong message that the people over here, they are not allowing the MLAs to attend the assembly. And if they are not able to physically attend the assembly, I think the assembly can arrange online meetings where the MLAs can speak through internet, and they can raise their questions, they can take part in the adjournments, and even if whether they are present or not, the primary issue of the assembly is it has to continue. It cannot be stopped by some MLAs, because the working of the state, it cannot be stopped. The budgetary allocation, it has to be passed, and the other issue is, since 50 members are present, they can pass all the bills, they can do it on their own, because simple majority is required in most of the discussions, except some amendments, important aspect amendments where 2/3 majority is required. But in most of the budgetary allocations, simple majority is required, which is now 50 MLAs are enough. And the other issue is, if the two ministers should resign, I think whether they resign or not, they stop working since May of 3rd, because they are not in station, they are not working from here. But the assurances and then the physical approval of the ministers concerned are required to do any activities in the ministry concerned. They must have done it. I don't know how they do it. The officers from here must be going to other states to take their concurrence, to take their signature, and I think those processes must be going. But the primary issue is, will they attain or not? Time will tell. Now the session will start on 31st. Just 2 days remain. But so far we haven't heard anything. We also haven't heard whether if they have applied for leave or medical or physical, or whatever reason. But we hope that they attend and the functioning of the assembly continues peacefully.
Yes, and then it will send a very positive message as well to the people of Manipur, in fact. Now, moving on with this, Oja Noni, please supplement to Oja Satyajeet, whatever that he has just mentioned. And also, the question that I raised this issue is because there have been times in the past also, not just from the MLAs that are currently being talked about, but also other MLAs that have won seats from the hill districts, claiming that their departments or some sectors in their areas, they do not get any budgetary allocation, and there are bias between hill and valleys regarding budgetary allocations. But during that time, there has been criticism as also against them, saying that they were also present in the house and they could have also voted against it if they did not want something. So there is that issue for a budgetary allocation, because it will be open for all the members present to be voting on it, and it will be passed. So without the presence of these MLAs, and will they be able to raise such kind of issues again in the future? So there will be some of that happening if at all they do want to take that advantage. So what are your thoughts on that?
I think as far as the hills are concerned, there are still MLAs from hill areas of Manipur. They probably will raise concerns of the hills. And before a couple of months, there were claims from the non-minister MLAs from the hill areas of Manipur that they were having bottlenecks. Because the ministry is being held by somebody else and they are out of station all the time. So within the hills also there are different narratives coming. That part is one. As far as their participation in the upcoming assembly session is concerned, it will be important. What we want is a different matter. What is more important is the ambience, the environment. I think that part is to be taken very seriously. Even if you invite also, if we do not have a conducive political environment, it will be difficult for anybody to come and go. For that matter, I think from the beginning we have been talking about the role of the Prime Minister, the role of the central government, and its understanding or confidence building with the state government. That part is missing. So that has to be now taken up very, very immediately in order to restore normalcy in the state. My view is that normalcy is required. For that matter, the stakeholders from the hills must rethink their ethnic exclusive politics, because ethnic politics will probably not lead us to any good end, because we have multi-ethnic state, and there are possibilities that when you raise and adamant on the exclusive ethnic demands, you are going to jeopardize your relationship with the coexisting communities. For that matter, any community XYZ in the state of Manipur must now learn to live together, and the political representatives of those politics must rethink their stand and try to renegotiate with the existing communities and do whatever, but do it democratically and in a non-sectarian manner. That's what I want to say.
Very good point. So Pabung, since we have come to the end of the program, I'd like to give the closing remarks of whatever that we have discussed today. So the floor is yours, and please keep it within just 5 minutes, since we are almost coming to the end, Pabung. Closing remarks from your side and what we have discussed, Pabung.
Can you please repeat me once more?
Pawung, I said that since we have almost come to the end of the program, I'll let you have the closing remarks, that everything to sum up regarding all that we have discussed today, and your remarks regarding this issue that we have been talking about.
Say, today's program you're asking to me?
Yes.
Right. Yes, it is excellent. I really appreciate, because this topic you have brought it up. Let the government of India also hear it very properly, because we want at this moment, let the governor new change or the chief minister you change, that is the prerogative of the government of India.
Right.
But they cannot buy time. So, as I said repeatedly, that sufficient blood has been shed already. And the other side of the coin, this separatist group who is trying to destabilize Manipur into pieces, and supported, or they support to this the anti-Indian or the illegal immigrants who are really playing a pivotal role, along with the help of the suspension of operation. All these people, government of India should pay without delay attentions and should try to bring them under their clutch. Whatever possible within the purview or within the ambit of the government of India, without disturbing the Manipur territory. I repeat again, without disturbing the Manipur territory, government of India, whatever possible, you try to, you sanction, you give whatever the way possible, in monetarily or anything else you. But the separations, separated from the attempt to separate or demand for separations from the Manipur or in union territory, what not, question does not arise. Government of India, we make it very clear. So this is what my humble appeal to the government through you. Give it whatever possible within the ambit and within the purview of the government of India, not disturbing, not causing any kinds of our difficulties to, which will be fallen X on us, question does not arise. Because everybody, 35 lakhs people, the way we lived earlier peacefully and cohesively, we should live together. Now it is the ball is in the court of the government of India. By saying this, government of India, you should not delay anymore. If you desire so, it will take only 2 hours. And if you want to see the more bloodshed, whatever happened in the last 15 months, more and more, then you continue it, then Manipur situation will turn into a different trend. So this is my humble appeal to the government of India. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Pabung. Since we have come to the end of the program, I'd like to wrap up, and I'd like to thank our panelists also for joining us and giving your interesting and very expert opinions regarding the topic. And indeed, we have learned so much, and it was very engaging, and I hope our viewers will gain a lot from this and a message from our panelists. So I'd like to thank once again Pabung Sonamani, Oja Arambam Noni, and Oja Satyajeet for being with us today and being a part of our show. Thank you again. I'd also like to thank our viewers for tuning in tonight. We will be back again next Monday with more exciting topics. Until then, have a good week.